Namaskar. Welcome to NRI Visited. So I was visiting my family in India in 2022 after 4 years, and I was quite impressed by the amount of development that I saw all over. This has happened at a very fast pace in a relatively short amount of time, which in my opinion is quite unprecedented. This kind of encouraged me to look a little bit deeper as to why everyone in India is suddenly so positive about country's outlook and why all the markets and sentiments are so bullish about India. So this is my perspective as an NRI about what I saw in India with some data and statistics. This incredible growth that we are currently witnessing has three major aspects. One, digital infrastructure. Two, physical infrastructure. And three is the growth in the soft power. Let's start by talking about the digital infrastructure. Today, India has 40% of all the world's digital transactions, and this wasn't achieved overnight, but took years to build up for us to have this ability today. And this was implemented by using something called as the JAM Trinity. JAM is the acronym for Jandhan, Aadhaar, and Mobile. By putting together these three things, this digital revolution was executed, and let's look at these three aspects one by one. Before 2014, a lot of rural India didn't have access to banking, and if we truly wanted to create an inclusive growth, including rural India was of the utmost importance. And this is why Jan Dhan was the most important step in the process. On 15th August 2014, a financial inclusion campaign was launched and 15 million bank accounts were opened on the very first day. In fact, the Guinness Book of Records recognizes this achievement, stating, "The most amount of bank accounts opened in 1 week as a part of financial inclusion campaign is 18,096,130 and was achieved by the Government of India from August 23rd to 29, 2014. Account ownership among adults in poorest 40% of Indian households rose to 77% in 2017 from 27% in 2011. The biggest chunk of this population lives in the rural area. Aadhaar is the world's largest biometric ID system, using which all of the important information of a resident of India, like their phone numbers and their bank accounts, are linked to a unique identification. The Aadhaar Act was passed by the Parliament of India in 2016. Using this ability, the targeted delivery of the financial and other subsidies were made possible, which reduced a lot of leakages in the benefits transfer due to petty corruption. This enabled the Government of India to directly transfer money into people's bank accounts, eliminating the middlemen and increasing the penetration of benefits. After implementing both those things, there was still a missing piece, which was access to internet. This issue resolved itself with the launch of Reliance Jio, which provided cheap and easy access to internet. In fact, the data from Reliance Jio was so cheap that a person in USA had to pay 33 times more for the same gigabyte of data. Jio's launch in September 5, 2016 was an absolute game changer for the country. The number of internet users in India went up from 92 million in 2010 to over 1 billion in 2023. This was a tenfold increase. Now everyone had an access to cheap internet and unlimited access to mobile services and applications. Enter UPI. UPI, or Unified Payment Interface, is an instant payment system developed by the National Payment Corporation of India. The interface facilitates interbank peer-to-peer and person-to-merchant transactions. It is used on mobile devices to instantly transfer funds between two bank accounts. India, with 89.5 million digital transactions in year 2022, has topped the list of countries in digital payment according to MyGov India. India's UPI stack is far more advanced than that of the developed nations. Here's Google's CEO Sundar Pichai talking about India's UPI.
In terms of seeing the progress India has made, particularly around the vision of digital India and the economic opportunity, and that we are announcing the opening of our Global FinTech Operations Center in Gift City, Gujarat, and it'll cement India's FinTech leadership thanks to UPI and Aadhaar, and we're going to build on that foundation. And his vision for digital India, was ahead of its time. I now see it as a blueprint other countries are looking to do. and the follow through on the scaling up of India's digital stack is a model other countries are thinking about. And I think,
and I've seen this on the ground myself. I've never seen a tax so inclusive and all-encompassing. There was some skepticism about digital payments in India. This is what the ex-finance minister of India said about India's digital payment ability.
And tomatoes and pay 7 rupees 50 paisa by a credit card. What will the poor lady do? Does she have a POS machine there? Is it connected to a electricity source? Is there Wi-Fi there? Is the internet working there? Do you know that every village has got a village fair? In my part of the country, the village fair takes in turns. Monday in this village, Tuesday in the next village, Wednesday in that village. All over India. That is where you bring your produce and sell. Vegetable, fruit, baskets, toys, plastic. You bring it and sell. You think all of them should have a POS machine in their hand? What kind of a false picture that you're presenting?
But what he did not see coming was the growth of smartphones, which decimated all of his apprehensions. UPI has helped India skip the card payment phase for most part and go straight from cash to digital and save a lot on transaction fees. And not just peer-to-peer payment, but also several other initiatives are being carried out under digital space, like health, traffic, management, education, etc. But growth in digital infrastructure was not enough. We also needed to build our physical infrastructure in order to become the manufacturing giant that we aspired to. Just like digital infrastructure, physical infrastructure also gained a lot of momentum under the current leadership of Prime Minister Modi. We have seen an unprecedented growth in highways, railways, and power generation capacity. I'll be talking about the growth in this aspect in a follow-up video. But meanwhile, let me know if you like this video and I'll see you soon.